Hey guys, today we're going to show you how to search for files using PowerShell. We're going to show you how to match patterns, how to include files in your search, how to exclude files, how to search subdirectories recursively, how to search by age, do a whole bunch of things all in one search, and other useful tips and things that you should know. All right, so adding this in real quick before the first real example, just want to show you the most simple search you can possibly do. Just say get children and a pattern, and that's it. That's pretty much the simplest one before my first actual example. So this is actually pretty easy to do. So this first example I'm going to give you is basically the most simple use case you can use to do a search. So I'm going to paste this in here, and it says get child item. And you specify the path like this. You say dash path and specify, like in this case I'm specifying my home directory. You can use whatever directory you want to search, and then you're going to say recurse. Now recurse means it's recursive, so any directories underneath this directory you specify is going to search those too. So like my documents, my videos, my downloads, all that stuff, right? So basically that's it. Let's run this and see how the output gives you each subdirectory. It'll show you the subdirectory, and underneath each one of these it's going to give you a list of files, and for each file it shows you the column header. Now it would have been nice to have these column headers only once at the very top and have a neater looking report. So the formatting is not great, but it is what it is. Now I'm going to give you another example. You could go like this, and you could search for the path. You search for just documents and videos, right? So we're searching for two paths, searching two directories at once, separate them with a comma and a space, right? So, but we basically just say path, comma, space to separate those two paths we want to specify, right? Still recursive, and it gives you this. So it's only searching for stuff underneath those two directories and any subdirectories in them. So now let's show you a little bit more useful of an example, something with a lot more options. Then we're going to go over each of the options, right? So I'm going to copy this and paste it in here. Now this is a little bit longer of a command. Same command, get child item, and it says dash path, and in this case I'm just specifying the C drive. So the root of the C drive I'm searching from, not just my home directory, right? So I'm going to use the include parameter, and then you specify what you want to include. So this is just a pattern that you're going to match. So it's going to include anything that's an MKV file. So a .mkv file and anything with that in there. And it doesn't, I put an asterisk at the end, so that could appear anywhere in the middle of the file name. But anyways, that's fine. So it's going to search for MKV files, basically these video files, right? And you're going to say exclude, and you could exclude anything with the word test in it. Now I'm just using that as an example. Now basically most, if not all, of these options are optional, so you don't have to use all of these. So I'm explaining what they do, and if it sounds like something you don't need, just leave it out, right? So only use the things here that you need. And if you want to copy and paste this, just check the description. I'm going to have a link in the description of the video to a web page with a write-up on this, so you can just copy and paste it for yourself, and you don't have to watch too closely what I'm typing in this video. So in any case, check the link in the description. So you're going to say file. Now saying file will make sure you're only listing out files and not directories, so that's also useful. You can say recurse. That's the same thing we talked about before. It checks each directory and each subdirectory underneath this recursively, so it checks all of them. And now force is going to force it to, I forget off the top of my head if it's set. It also means some other things, but basically with the effect of this option is that it's going to include hidden directories, right? So you're not going to be skipping over those, like hidden temp directories. If you accidentally have a file saved in there that you're searching for, you're going to find those too, right? So they're not getting excluded. And then you're going to have error action, this option, and you specify silently continue. So that way when you have errors, instead of printing out this big annoying error message, you're just going to silently skip over that error and not print anything out at all. Now, the reason we do that is because if you're searching from, now you might not need to do that in your home directory, but if you're searching the root of the file system, there's a good chance that you're going to see a lot of errors for things you don't have permission to, even if you're administrator. A lot of things you may or may not have permission to. You're going to see errors saying, hey, can't read this file or something like that. And there's so many of those errors that it just litters the output, and you can't actually, it makes it a lot harder to read the output. So it's important to have that. So you really want to have error actions silently continue. Right, so that's what all of these options do in this command. So hit enter, and there we go. It's searching for, and there we go. It's still giving us the names of subdirectories. But yeah, basically it's searching for any MKV files on this system at all. And there's a whole bunch of them in there. Some that I didn't even know existed, like these HDR sample MKV. I did not know those even existed in the first place. But yeah, so it searched for all the MKV files on my system. Search through my I don't know if that speaks to the efficiency of the file system or just the speed of my drive, but that's a 500 gig drive, and it just searched through the whole thing for any MKV files on there. So all these files here are yeah, starting up here, all of these are all the MKV files on the system. And we can also search by length. We can just pipe it into the where object and say you know, $__.length greater than, and specify a length you want to be greater than. In this example, we check for anything older than 30 days. We basically pipe into the where object and check the last write time and make sure that it's less than today's date minus 30 days. So next we're going to show you how we can check the last write time and make sure that it's less than a specified date. And then we can also change the LT to a GT and make sure the last write time was greater than a certain date. So any files newer than that date. So here we see an example. We returned one file older than the date and one file newer. Now if we do that with a recursive search like this, we'll get a whole lot more results. So it just keeps on going and going. See, we did specify recurse there. So anyways, here we can do something a little more complicated. Make sure, you know, the last write time is before and after two specified dates. So anything in between these two dates is basically what we're achieving here. And a ton more results. So be a little bit better if we had like a simpler example for this. So we're going to jump back up to you know, our home directory, run the same thing, a little more simple, no errors for things we don't have permissions for, but there you go. So if you found this useful, give me a thumbs up. If you know something I don't know, leave a comment down below, not just for me, but for the next person who watches this video. They might want to read your comment, they might find it useful. Also hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss out on all the great content we're putting out. We do a lot of great stuff. You know, coding, system administration, Windows, Linux. We do like Raspberry Pis, 3D printing, networking, just a ton of great tech related stuff you're just not going to want to miss out on. So definitely hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell icon. Otherwise, YouTube's not going to let you know when we come out with a new video. So yeah, don't miss out, and you know, like and subscribe, hit the bell icon. That's about it for today. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys on that next video.